All right. Here is the two tables. Here are the two tables. Sorry. Okay. Bill and Rana. Whoop. Okay. Comparing the two. All right. So if I wanted to graph those, first of all, using Excel. Okay. I open up a blank workbook. All right. So over here, I'll do Rana's. Okay. So here's Rana's cost. Okay. So if I go into my PowerPoint, okay, I'm just going to, you could type this in manually, but just to save time, I'm going to just copy and paste, okay, over into here. Okay, there you go. Whatever, that's fine. Okay, so here is my first one. Okay, so I can highlight that. And then go insert, okay, at the top here. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see better. Insert, and then you can do, okay, different graphs. Now, there's a few different options you have here. You could do a scatter plot and then do a line of best fit, which would show it as well. Okay, we're going to learn a little bit more about that in chapter 6. Or you could try and do a line graph. Okay, so if you click the arrows, right? So you've got line with markers, okay, to show trends over time, okay. You know, this one doesn't have the individual markers for the year, okay, that's fine. Okay, basically, yeah, just show, so this one would be good because it shows the different costs going up as the time increases, right? So in this case, it shows you series 1 is the hours, okay, which is fine. You can just leave that, all right. But then the orange line is what you want. That's showing you what the cost is, okay. So you could do that, or if you wanted to, you could do a scatter plot, okay. All right. So if you did a scatter plot, okay, it would show you again this series. So if I go back to the first one, okay, the line with markers, here you go. All right, so for series 2, I can go legend options over here by clicking on it. So I'll move this over. Okay, so hold on. Axis titles, that's what I want. So the first axis title, so I clicked on this plus mark and I get axis titles. This axis title, I'm going to change to cost. Whoops. Cost. Sorry, my computer is freaking out right now. Cost. And then this one, I'm going to change to this one I'm going to change to hours. There you go. Okay, so this would be cost versus hours. Okay, so that's how much money it will cost over time for Rana. Okay, for Bill, you can just do the same thing. Okay, using Sheets, it's very similar. So if I want to do on Google Sheets, okay, again, I'm going to just open up, go into my drive here, and I go new. Okay, so in my drive, hold on, let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay, new sheet. Okay. All right, once again, I'm going to paste. My computer decides to hurry up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to paste what I had before. Okay, my same numbers, and then I can go insert chart. So under the insert menu, I put chart. Okay. And you can try, right, to have a bar graph. We don't really want a bar graph though. We want like a line graph, right? Okay. So if you want to just show, hold on. If I want to show just the data points in this one, I can collect, right? Click on these and it will show me all the data points, right? And then you can make a line of best fit afterwards. Okay. So different features here, axis labels, right? So if I want to make the title, I go cost versus hours. Enzo, if I see you on your laptop again, I'm taking it away. Okay. Axis labels. Okay, so you can change, customize all of that. Okay, whoops, I accidentally did the title as cost versus hours. That should just be hours at the bottom. Okay, and then zoom in a little bit more. At the top, up here, this should be cost versus hours. Okay, and then let me change the last title here. Trend line. If I click trend line and linear, it'll give me a line through all the points, right? So I've got this nice line now. Okay, and then just need to change that last. So this is cost over time. Okay, and where's that last label here? Title. Okay, legend. Access. Okay. All right, so that gives you the basic idea, right? You can format it a little bit more if you want to add the cost over here. Okay, that's basically good. Okay, so we can do that. All right, so now I've got my cost here and my hours here. Okay. Finally, well, not finally. Next, you've got Sketchpad. So I'll show you this again quickly. Graph, grid form, rectangular grid. I drag this over here. Okay, I want my hours to count up to 5. So I insert a text box here to call this hours. I want my cost to go up to about $150. Okay, so this one I'm going to drag down. Okay, wait for it till it says double white arrows, and you can drag it all the way down. Okay, that's pretty good. Then I just go graph, plot new function. I change it to y equals, because y is going to be like the cost. 45x, so instead of h, I use x, it's fine, works the same. Just changing one variable for another. So that's the first one. Okay, and then the second one, again, graph, plot new function, y equals. This one is 25 plus 18x. Okay, looks like that. So if I highlight this one, I can change the color. Maybe I'll make it red. This one, make it thick, and also make it red. Okay, this one I'm gonna I'll leave as, oh, I'll change this one to green. Make it thick as well so you can see better. Okay. Right? Put one more text box in. Cost versus time. Or versus hours, whatever. There you go. So here's Rana up here. And here is Bill over here. Okay? So that's how you can graph both of them and compare. If you wanted to find out where they intersect, you could highlight them both by clicking on them like that, using the cursor, and then go construct intersection. Then we'll build the one right there, and then measure coordinates. And now you know where the two lines intersect. Don't worry about that too much for now, because we're going to learn that later on, but I just thought I'd show you while I was doing this. Okay? So that's that way. Finally, the last method we have is the graphic calculator. Okay? So the graphic calculator, what we want to do is we go y equals, we clear out these two things, two equations. I'll zoom in a little bit more so you can see even better. Okay? My first equation is 45x. My second equation is 25 plus 18x. Okay? So then I change my window around. Okay? So remember, when you're using a graphic calculator, there's a poster at the back that sort of explains this as well. You can look at. It's kind of dark right now. We can't really see. X min, that's how far the graph goes down. So if I change this x minimum, here I'll move this up so you can see better. If I change this x minimum, that means it gives more space at the bottom. So if I change this x minimum to -10, okay, it's going to be, the space at the side here. That's going to change the x-axis, okay? So that means it will let me see more on this side. If I changed it to -20, it would be even more, okay? Sorry, oops. Okay, so you would be able to see all this negative. We don't really need negative for this one, so I'm just going to leave it at 0 because time can't be negative, right? So if I leave it at 0, okay, now we start at 0 for hours. Up to 10 hours, that's more than enough. We don't need to really go past 10 hours. In fact, we could change this one to 5, okay? So we're only going to count up to 5 hours. Count by 1, that's what the x scale means. Y, okay, again, you don't need negative because y counts how much we go up and down this way. The y minimum, it's not going to be negative money, so we don't need negative. Change this one to 0, okay? So this part's going to disappear. So it just starts from 0 now, and now, but I want to count higher because right now I can only see a little bit of the line. I want to see more, so this number has to be higher. So y max, instead of 40, I'm going to change that to like 200. Okay? There you go. So we have our two lines now, like that. Okay? So this counts from 0 to 5 for hours, and this counts from 0 to 200 for cost. Okay? So that's how you graph using Google Sheets, Geometry Sketchpad, Microsoft Excel, and Graphing Calculator. Okay? 4 different ways that you can do it.